Hey guys, so today I found some unhinged drama and I just want to talk about it because there is something about, I have so many thoughts in my head. I've been discussing this like TikTok creating, let me start that sentence again. I've been discussing recently how TikTok is basically destroying life as we know it. My biggest thing is the filming in public stuff, which I've been talking about a lot recently. You guys agree with me. I'm glad I have a community of people that can just complain and vent about all these new trends and challenges, including just filming strangers in public. And we all just agree that this is not right. It's not cute. It's not nice. It's not nice to fear leaving the house in case you become a new viral video because you made the wrong face in the back of someone's content. And I feel like that really got amplified on TikTok. I feel like we really eradicated that kind of content on YouTube. When prank videos got pulled, we all made fun of the prank videos, the prank channels, mainly the fake ones. It was just like, what is going on? This is encouraging people to just go out and be menaces and nuisances. And we eradicated that. People do daily vlog, but you know, there's a difference between just like daily vlogging or seeing a new country and taking pictures of the place and videoing, and someone might end up in the back of something, and going out of your way to make content around filming those close to you in public, or even then going a step further and trying to call these people out in the background of your videos who are non-consenting members of your video now, and calling them out for having the wrong reaction when they weren't even prepared to be in a public video. So I think there are definitely like nuances to the whole topic, and all of this to say TikTok is definitely causing a bit of something. On top of that, there's like exposing other people and violating other people's privacy, and then there's like violating your own privacy knowingly, aka oversharing. So today's video is very kindly sponsored by Raycon, who have been my brand of choice for earbuds for a few years now. And to celebrate Raycon turning 6, they have massive sales going on right now. So go to buyraycon.com/Angelika Oles to get 20 to 40% off your order. Hurry and go get the best deal for your Raycons right now. You guys know I've been using the everyday earbuds, like I said, for a few years. They have a 32-hour battery life. You really don't have to worry about it. You can go on with your day, listen to audiobooks, music, go to the gym, go get some work done, listen to some audiobooks at home while you're cooking, and you still won't even make a dent in your battery life. They have the perfect in-ear fit due to the adjustable earbud like sizes. You have these silicone tips, you get to change them out so they perfectly matches your ear, and all of this at, like I said, half the price of other premium brands, with now the anniversary sale with an extra, you know, 20 to 40% off. You're really getting an amazing deal on these earbuds, and they've already racked up 78,000 5-star reviews, so you can be another one, because I know you guys will love these. Raycon has also expanded their business into Raycon Home and Raycon Power Tech, so there are now even more products for you guys to pick from other than just your everyday earbuds. So like I said, with the anniversary sale, this is the best time to get your earbuds. Mainly with the holiday season coming up, you can get them now on sale and make amazing presents for everyone. So go to buyraycon.com/Angelika Oles and you'll get 20 to 40% off your whole order. Now, let's get into the tea. The first time I saw this happen was on Twitter, actually. The most unhinged stuff always goes over to Twitter, and that's like when everyone finds out about a certain video. I feel like the pancake girl that I talked about recently, that was from Twitter. I've also deleted Twitter off my phone. So I only have it on my iPad, which I use only for work, and on my laptop, which I only use for work. I feel like Twitter's just died a little bit. And another video about oversharing that was on my Twitter tab was the girl that was in... She basically exposed her husband for being completely useless while she went into labor with their baby. And she thought everyone was going to find this so haha funny, just like she did. She was like, oh my god guys, look how stupid my husband is. No one found it funny. So in that video she describes, I'm going to try and find this video for you guys because I know she probably like tried to scrub it off the internet. She described how he wasn't ready. She was like throwing up, I'm pretty sure, and he bought her a dog bowl to throw up into instead of finding like anything else, or maybe even like just help her get to the bathroom. She decides that she's in labor, and I don't really know how that process works. I don't really want to look into it because it terrifies me. Yay. But she finds out she's in labor somehow. Also, for anyone that's like, her water broke, duh. I actually found out recently that not a lot of women, there was a piece of fluff, I'm not trying grabbing at nothing. A lot of women's waters don't break. So apparently that's just like a movie drama thing, and a lot of women don't have that happen. They just have like contractions, and the contractions get unbearable and they just go and like give birth. So just a little bit of tea and shade from Angelika about labor. She's in labor, he takes her, and he decides to take a scenic route instead of the route that they had planned. And because of the scenic route, she almost doesn't make it to hospital to give birth. So she would have just given birth on the side of like a street, but scenic view nonetheless, you know? Then they get into hospital and he says he's tired and sleeps, even though she's in pain and can't sleep. Then he doesn't get her food after she gives birth, which, like, I've seen so many cute videos of like men bringing their wives sushi platters, because you're not allowed to eat sushi when you're pregnant technically. I mean, there's, you know, there's some debate over that, but yeah, you're not allowed to. And if it's like their favorite food, they'll bring them just a sushi platter and they have like the baby and they're eating, and whatever your favorite food is, like, you should have it on tap pretty much once you push a baby out of your vagina. I just want to elaborate that that's what's happening in the world. We're all just pushing, not all, some of us are pushing babies out of vaginas, and that's crazy. He has one protein bar on him and he goes to eat it and she says, hey, can I have one? And he's like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. All of this to say, she posted this being like, haha, my husband is so silly. He's such a quirky goose. He's just a silly goose. And all of us are like, no, your husband's useless. He's incompetent. And now you're stuck with him because you've just birthed this child. Like, now you're stuck with him for life. And not only did you have an incompetent husband, you've now made your incompetent husband an incompetent father. What do you mean he gave you a dog bowl to throw up into as if you're a dog? He didn't take the short route to hospital, risking your life and the baby's life because you could have been given birth on the side of a street. The least of your concerns in that case would be an infection. Fell asleep while you were giving birth. Might as well have just not been there. Didn't bring you food. Was skimping out over a protein bar because he was hungry. I'm hungry. That's ridiculous. I always say, like, giving birth is not a communal activity. Not everyone needs to be involved and invited and included, but who should be invited and included is probably your husband, if he's around. And that husband should be a massive support system. If he's not, why is he there? Like, you should only really have, like, the bare minimal amount of people in there to not stress you out, but those bare minimum people should be, like, pulling their weight because they're not giving birth. So she posted a video being like, oh my god, you guys are like telling me to divorce my husband. Why does everyone just jump straight to divorce? Which I do agree that sometimes people jump straight to like the extreme. Dump him, break up with him, divorce him. Everything's just like, people are allowed to make mistakes, right? But this is not a mistake. These were just choices that he made throughout the night. And I assume she doesn't film a video every day being like, here are the top 3 dumbest things my husband did today. This was probably just like a massive event, so she brought it up. But I bet he does this kind of stuff on a daily basis. And like, you're allowed to do stupid things, like I said, because you're a human being. But to inconvenience someone so much on such a stressful day is just not really a good sign of what's to come through parenthood. So she posted a video and she's really upset that everyone called her out, and she was like trying to downplay all the things. She was like, well, he only had the protein bar because, and she was just trying to like downplay the whole situation as if she didn't just complain to us about her husband. And my whole thing is like, you posted this on the internet. You decided to overshare. And now we are commentating on you oversharing and what you have overshared. And now you're angry at us. Like, did you post this video with the intention of us doing what precisely? Because clearly you posted it because you were like, oh my god guys, look how dumb my husband is. And then we turned around and said, yeah sis, your husband is really stupid. And then you're angry. You're pissed. All of this to say, there's new kind of drama on the block. I've seen this content creator before. Her name's Michelle and she's a bartender on TikTok. She essentially posts either like kind of like those POV type scenarios where like she goes over some really bad like or funny or weird customer bar situations that she's been through, or she posts some recipes for different drinks. She apparently also makes drinks at home. She has like a full stocked bar at home. She shows you how to make different cocktails as a bar person would. And she recently moved out of Charleston, where she lived since 2006, and her husband's lived in Charleston his whole life, so this was like a big move for them. They moved house and now she's looking for a new job. And the thing is, to me, well, she's done 4.6 million followers on TikTok. I'm assuming she makes pretty decent money from TikTok in some capacity. So I don't even think she needs this bartending job, but without the bartending job, she can't make her content, if that makes sense. So now she needs to pick up a lower paid job to be able to make money from her higher paid job, which is TikTok. And that's really weird. It's a really weird dynamic. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this. She'll like walk around town and show potential places that she wants to work at and be like, what do you guys think about this one? And she'll be like, oh my god, I just got a job at blank. And I genuinely feel like it's like fun to her now to look for this job and probably not even care about the paycheck that she's going to get at the end of the month because she's on 5 million followers. So it does seem a bit like she's cosplaying now, like just like working, but I don't know, whatever. She did in the past like violate her own privacy quite a bit. She would say where she's working and exactly what time for people to like show up. She would film in her workplace. She now shows obviously like different places that she's interviewing for in the new town and where she's going to be now working now that she took the job. Like, she's definitely violating her own privacy quite a bit. And I think people don't talk enough about, like, yeah, it's one thing to violate other people's privacy, but it's another to violate your own. So she was pregnant, and I remember I came across her content when she was pregnant because people would have a go at her for tasting her own drinks that she makes, like the alcoholic drinks in the bar, but she would pick it up in the straw, kind of like people do at bars. If you ever go to a bar, they'll make you a drink and then taste it to see if they made it correctly. She would do that, and then I'm pretty sure spit it out or just like swallow that one tiny bit of drink to make sure that she's still making a correct drink. And I know she had to explain to people like the alcohol content in one tiny slush isn't enough to do anything. And so that's when I found her and she was pregnant. She's apparently given birth since then, and the baby's like 2. So amazing. So her and her husband live in this house, and she posts this TikTok, which starts very interestingly because she goes into like, oh, my husband doesn't drink alcohol because once he starts, he cannot stop, and he will drink every single beer around him.
Just found out that my house almost got robbed on Tuesday night. Yeah, I thought about not telling you guys this story because it's an embarrassing story for me and for my husband. But if it helps somebody, I'm gonna tell it. I know I've talked to you guys about how my husband doesn't drink because he can't drink, because he can't stop. Like, once he has one beer, he has to drink every beer there is until they're all gone or the bar kicks him out or whatever.
And I was like, whoa, that's actually cool being an alcoholic. Like, I hope you know, and I hope everyone watching this video knows that if you have one drink and then you proceed to have 50 other drinks because you can't stop yourself, that is a problem. Whether this happens once a month, once a year, once a week, once a day, if you have no self-control as to how many drinks you are going to drink, that is a problem, and you are not an alcohol person. You should stop drinking alcohol. And I know it's not easy, but by that I mean you should probably go to rehab and like figure that out, because a substance should never have this much control over your life. So she starts with that, which I think is a hot start anyway, and then proceeds to tell the story of how her husband had some people over, had like 6 beers, she goes to bed, she wakes up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m, her husband's back from the bar because he took an Uber to the bar to drink with other people because he didn't want to drink alone. And he brought a man back to their house who was planning on robbing them.
After that couple left that my husband invited over, he had had like 8 beers during the time that they were at our house, and it wasn't very long. So after they left, I went to bed. By this time, it's like 11:30 p.m, and my husband still wanted to drink more and not by himself. So he Ubered up to a bar. I didn't even know he left, you guys. He gets home at 3:20 in the morning. 3:20 in the morning. The dogs start barking, and the dogs don't bark at him. So I knew somebody was with him. So I get up out of bed, and I'm immediately pissed off when I see the time. Okay, I walk out there, I'm a raging bitch. Okay, because why the my husband is like in the refrigerator trying to scrounge up something. I don't know what he's doing. I see this guy, he's walking around our whole house, scoping it out. But I didn't really think anything of that, right? And I'm just trying to get the dogs to stop barking so they don't wake up Ryder, our baby. I'm like, Justin, do you know that it is 3:30 in the morning? What are you doing? Bringing random people over from the bar. Like, what bar did you come from? He starts like mocking me. This is why he doesn't drink, okay? Anyways, he goes, oh, I should be passed out in a ditch in some bushes somewhere. Thank God this guy brought me home. I'm like, Justin, no, we do not do this. And I look at the guy and I'm like, thank you so much for bringing my husband home. I appreciate you. And at this point, the guy is like looking out our back window, like our back door, and he's like texting someone. And again, I didn't think anything of this. Like, my husband is one of those people that whenever he gets any type of alcohol in him, he trusts everyone. He was like, this guy, he's so nice.
And then she had to go to the bar the next day and figure out and apologize and figure out from the bar people what happened. He also charged all of those drinks and like the bar journey on her credit card. So that's how she knew what bar he went to. And she went, and the lady there explained what happened. The lady's also very sus, because I'm pretty sure she was like kind of in on the like robbing a little bit, but she tried to act like she wasn't.
This was all happening Wednesday morning at 3:30 in the morning. Fast forward to Wednesday early evening, I go to the bar that my husband had spent the bar tab on my credit card, right? I saw the name of the bar. I was like, well, let me go see and let me go apologize. Right? So I go there, I order 1 beer. Before you know it, the bartender is talking to somebody else about, she's describing a guy that sounds just like my husband. And I was like, wait, was he tall? And I like interjected a little bit. She turns to me and she's like, yeah. And she describes my husband. And I'm like, oh, my husband was here last night and that's him. She goes, oh, did you guys just move from Charlotte? And I said, yes, we did. She said, girl, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. And I'm like, what is she talking about? I'm like, girl, I'm not blaming anything on you. She goes, did you get robbed? And I said, no. What? Yeah, you better elaborate on that, okay? Let's just, okay, what happened? She said, I'm so sorry. I begged them not to do it. And I'm like, not to do what? Beg who? What? She said, your husband, we had to cut him off. This is why he doesn't drink, okay? And his phone was dead, so he couldn't order an Uber. She said, I tried to order him an Uber, and he wouldn't let me do it. He was like gonna get in the car with these dudes that were gonna bring him home. And she was like, and I knew that these guys were gonna rob him. And I begged them not to do it. What? So that's why that guy was scoping my house out, huh? Oh, okay. I wasn't mad at her. I'm not mad at her at all. I tipped her very well. I was like, you just saved me lots of things because I haven't got my security system installed yet. I had already cashed out at that point. I just had 1 beer and I cashed out. And I get in the car and I call my husband and I'm like, listen here. Yeah, you being so naive and trusting everyone because you're a dude and you think that I'm being paranoid because I don't want anybody that we don't know personally in our house. This is why. He is taking it so seriously, you guys. He didn't sleep at all last night. I was like, good, as you shouldn't have, because you are you've caused this. You're supposed to be our protector and our provider and everything, and you are not protecting us by bringing some random people over to our house. And I'm like so scared because I'm thinking that they're gonna come back at a different time and like with other people, not just the one guy, and know what they're gonna take. And I'm scared. I'm getting my security system installed tomorrow though, so it'll be okay.
They have a baby at home. They have a baby at home. His baby, his child, his like half of his DNA is in this house, and he not only knows that he shouldn't be drinking, but he started drinking instead of just going to bed. He took himself to a bar and then drove back home with a stranger who he let into the house. And then when she was trying to call him out, bear in mind she was also talking to him like he was a child, which he kind of is. Like she talks to him the same way she talks to her baby when her baby like spills a drink or something. No, like he literally put your life at risk. I don't know, like if she hadn't woken up, chances are she would have woken up to a robbed house. But the fact that she also woke up is also a bad thing in itself, because now the robber has seen her face. And sometimes these people, in the spur of the moment, they don't want to get arrested. Like who says, you know, that she wouldn't have called the police, let's say. He could have killed her. He could have killed the husband. He could have killed the baby. He could have held them all hostage. He could have come back 3 days later because now he's scared that they are going to call the police. He could have come back 3 days later to target them again, or kill them, or kidnap someone. Like, this isn't just like a, haha, silly, my husband's just so quirky. Anyway, so people start calling her out. People start stitching her. People start being like, oh, lady, you should have kept this one to yourself. Like, this should have been between you and your therapist. Like, this is not for TikTok.
I just found out that my house almost got robbed on Tuesday night. Yeah, I thought...
No. Oh my gosh, this story, pobrecita. Look, I don't know her, but I truly feel in my heart, these are the kind of stories you keep to yourself.
And she responds to one comment that tells her to divorce her husband, and she goes on a rant. She's pissed. She's like, why do you guys... Well, she starts with like people having no sympathy for people, that people make mistakes. Her husband made a mistake and he hasn't slept since like it happened because he's so stressed out about it. We should forgive him and he should be forgiven because he's feels really upset about it and he never does this, and now he's learned his lesson. Now that a stranger came into his house at 3 a.m. and put his family at risk, now he knows that he shouldn't drink alcohol. Even though she in her first TikTok said, my husband can't drink because once he starts he cannot stop. So like, we actually knew this. We all knew this. My husband just found out now.
You know what's so stupid is that y'all are giving me advice like this. Have you never made a mistake when you were drunk? was a pretty serious mistake, and I get that. And so does my husband. He understands that too. We did not get robbed. Probably because my crazy ass came out there, and we have dogs, and then the guy probably saw all the little kid toys and was like, oh, he's got a wife and she's not drunk. And look, he's got a kid, and look, they have dogs, and they don't sound small. I think my husband is lucky that I came out all sober and bitchy in this case, because I done saw his face. And I had dogs barking in the background. Because you know what I think he was planning on doing? I think he was planning on waiting for my husband to pass out, and then he was gonna rob him. But he didn't realize he was coming home to a wife and a kid and dogs, and I saw his face. Like, that made things probably more complicated. I think that's the problem with our society now, though, is that everybody thinks that if somebody messes up, that they need a divorce. Like, my husband is taking full responsibility for this. He realizes what he's done. We do love each other, and that is a choice that you make in marriage. And we're doing our best. We just moved from a city that my husband has never lived outside of. And I've been living in Charlotte since 2006. So yeah, we're stressed the fuck out. But before you judge somebody else, maybe you should remove the log in your own eye. Because if you've never made a mistake ever in your life, then come talk to me. And marriage does take work every single day. But didn't I say, for better or for worse? Yeah, this is the worst. This was a huge wake-up call for him. Now he understands why I don't want people over at our house that we don't know. I don't know why it took this for him to understand it, but either way, he has it drilled in his brain now. And he will never do it again. I know. I know he won't.
Even though, like, we shouldn't really have even been brought in on this story, that shouldn't have ended up on TikTok. Like I said, that should have been in a therapist's office. Because that relationship is doomed. You know, the fact that she's having to, like, overshare this stuff and complain about her husband on TikTok as well. Like, she clearly doesn't really have much of a support system. Because if she did, she wouldn't be telling us about it. She'd be telling her support system, her family or her friends. But maybe, just maybe, her family and friends have already expressed how they feel about her husband. And so she doesn't want to go to them and complain to them because she knows what she's going to hear. So she's posting this on TikTok. Or maybe she doesn't have a support system, which is sad. But yeah, so that happened. And then people are saying, like, no, like, bestie, divorce him. Like, he's putting your child at risk. He literally put your life and your child's life at risk. Like, what you're not understanding. And she then posts that she finally got a security system put in, and it's a video of her in detail describing every part of her security system. At this point, give us the pin and the brand of the security system and let us all just try and hack it and break in. She's like, we have cameras here, here, and here. The sensors give you 10 seconds to walk through. This is when we'll get an alert. This is what will happen if you do this. Like, you're literally giving the robbers a step-by-step tutorial on how to break into your house.
Fernando, who's installing our security system, his wife knows me from TikTok. That's Fernando. What's your wife's name?
Misty.
Hi, Misty. Do not worry, because now, if they do come back, good luck to them. Because Fernando hooked us up over here. We have glass break sensors on every single window in our house. We have indoor motion detectors. Anytime somebody opens a door. Did you hear that? Yeah. We have a doorbell camera. I'm about to go out the back door. Right. We have 3 outdoor cameras like that. All of the outdoor cameras have light, like motion detector lights on them that will follow you as you walk around. And if you stay in the light longer than 10 seconds when our alarm is set, it'll flash at you and we'll be alerted. Yeah, ain't nobody coming near my house without me knowing about it and then the authorities being alerted. Our security system is top notch, okay? I feel so safe.
Also, the security system is completely useless because let me just remind you, your husband let this man in. Which means your husband will just put in the pin next time and still let another man in. Like, these people didn't break into your house. Your husband let this man in. Anyway, this is what happens when you overshare. You end up just making a fool of yourself, and then you're having to justify why you're staying with someone who clearly isn't right for you or your situation. I wish them the best. I wish her the best. I wish everyone the best. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the bell icon for engagement, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.